Hello everyone, I'm Justus and I'm here to show you my current bullet journal. So for past history, I have been bullet journaling since 2015. I've gone through about 5 or 6 of them so far, so this is my current one. As for the supplies that I use blotter paper because I use fountain pens. I use a couple of different pens. I'm currently using the TWSBI Diamond 580 inked up with Iroshizuku Sayoro. And this is my pen pouch, so I can show you the rest. I also use this Faber-Castell marker that I got from Hobby Lobby. It is a Pitt Artist pen in medium flesh. I also have a Pilot Metropolitan. This one's currently inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Yamabudo. I have a few Sharpie highlighters. I have a Winnie the Pooh ruler. I have 2 fine liners if I need anything black. As well as that, I had 2 pens that I forgot to put in my pencil pouch. They were on my desk. This is another Pilot Metropolitan. This one is inked, I forgot the color of it, but it is a reddish ink that you'll see in my journal. As well as this Lamy Al-Star, and the ink in this is Pilot Iroshizuku Ama-Iro. I'm amazed I remembered all of that. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. And if I need corrections, I have correction tape. Oh, lovely! And I also have washi tape. Instead of for decoration though, I tend to use it for, if I make a mistake, I'll white it out and then put washi over it so that it adds decoration, but really it wasn't meant to be decoration. So you'll see some washi in there and you'll know why. Get this out of the way. So this cover I got off of Amazon. It is an A5 size. I don't remember the brand, but if you just search A5 cover on Amazon, you'll be able to find something that'll suit you. Now, on the inside, you'll notice that I don't really decorate it. I don't like to decorate my pockets like many of the people that use the beautiful Kiki K planners. I wish I were, but I'm more utilitarian, I suppose. So I just have some Polaroids that I haven't pasted into my journal yet. This is of some ink bottles and pens, and this is of my kitty cats. Up here I have a piece of scrapbook paper that I cut right here, but I'm going to paste this in rather than wasting it. And I also have a sticker from Howl's Moving Castle that one of my friends purchased for me. So up here, this is the first page of the journal. That is usually like the ugly page that no one uses. So rather than that, I decided to tape it and turn it into a dashboard. So I put down some cork paper as well as this beautiful floral paper, and I use sticky notes to write down whatever I need for groceries because I hate the grocery store, so I'd rather just get in and out. And this is the first page. I have a couple of months in advance since I don't tend to do more than a few months per bullet journal. A little positive quote, little doodle that was heavily influenced by Cheyenne Barton. I have a sticky note over this, but I have a timetable for my semester schedule. That way, if I forget what building a class is in or what time a class is in, I can easily just flip to this page and then see it. Over here, I have a syllabus master list, which I definitely suggest for anyone in college because this has saved my life. I have my classes written down. I also have the days I am able to miss, whether it be if I'm sick or if I just want to skip. I can fill in those days and know that if I surpass these days, it'll start impacting my grade. As well as that, I have a grade breakdown for each of the classes so I can know what percentage of tasks is graded. That way, if I'm a little bit overwhelmed and I can't complete something, I can look on here and see, okay, this piece of homework is worth a whole lot more than this piece of homework, so that one can be pushed to the back burner for now. And You'll notice that I've put down little pink sticky notes, of course, because privacy reasons, am I right? And this is an example of my monthly layout. So at the beginning of the journal, I set it out like this because I use the monthly layout mainly to know appointments, so don't really need much space. So this is this. I used highlighters to mark days that I work so that I know a giant chunk of the day is just going to be working. On this page, I like to track my mood and my diet and how that they correlate with one another, as well as tracking how grateful I am. This is an example of more of a weekly spread. More weekly spread. I got food poisoning. It was a very, very sad day. Weekly spread. This was also very influenced by Cheyenne Barton. I love your little doodles. Hey girl. And this is possibly one of my favorite weekly spreads just because the Yamabudo ink with all of these little gold foiled stickers just looks so classy to me. I love it. This made me very sad. So if you see here, the ink bled through from the page from the back. That is not because this paper is terrible or because that pen sucks. On one of the days on campus, it started raining, and it rained so badly and I forgot my umbrella, so my backpack got soaked and my corner of my notebook got wet. And this is not permanent ink. But fix this side with a sticker. Haha. And we are in September now. One thing I do want to note is with my months, whenever we start a new month, I put down a new purple tab. That way I can just flip through, because the way my brain works is month sections. So I'm just like, oh, I did this in September. I need to reference it now. So I can just flip through September. So much easier to me than indexing. I really hate indexing. But this was my September spread. Same layout. One thing that you will notice is I stopped using the daily gratuity log because I ended up getting a 5-year notebook. This is the Mom's One Line a Day. I got it from Barnes & Noble. I'm not a mom, don't intend to be a mom anytime soon, but I prefer this color as opposed to the blue color it also comes in, but I wanted the pink. And washi tape. This was an accident. Oh, more tape. Oh, that was an accident. Ho-ho, distractions. And you'll see here goals and affirmations, August review, and then my expense tracker. I have started doing an expense tracker and color coding it because I want to start seeing where my money goes. And in this month, it was more of noticing the trends. So yellow is my least favorite highlighter color, and that is fast food. Oh boy, so much fast food has been purchased this month. So from here on forward, I'm trying to actively cut down on that so that there can be some less ugly yellow here and less terrible things inside my body. More tracker things, more daily things. Level 10 Life, influenced by Boho Berry, one of the most famous bullet journalists. Excuse me. But this was very much influenced by Boho Berry. I didn't really care about the Level 10 Life until I had noticed it reoccurring in her spreads throughout the years, and from that I figured I could give it a shot and kind of see how it influences me on getting better. And this is one of my first weeklies that I did in this journal. I don't really like weeklies all that much because I feel like the information that goes in a weekly versus in a monthly is very redundant. But this week I was a little bit overwhelmed. It was whenever Hurricane Irma was around, so I just decided, who cares if I'm redundant? I need this here. Don't cling to a mistake just because you spend a lot of time making it. I like to do a little bit of writing. And something that you will notice is I do a lot of journaling throughout my book. I prefer to keep it as more of a commonplace book to put everything in here unless it's my school notes. That way it cuts down on having to pull out a different journal and write specific things to that journal in that journal, because I find that I won't use it. So if I have like a gym notebook, and then I have a diary for a notebook, and then I have other things, I'm just never going to reach for them and use them. So rather than do that, put them all in here. And this is a great example of what to do whenever you completely mess up a page. So instead of ripping it out, because this is a Crossfield notebook from Nanami Paper using Tomoe River paper, I would feel horrible having to rip that out. And then also, this page was successful. I would like to have this here for reference. So I just pasted another A5 sheet of paper in, trimmed it down so it wouldn't be overlapping anywhere, and then wrote a letter to my future self so that whenever I flip through later on, I can be like, oh hey, past Justus, what did you write to me today? And for my birthday, I got a Fitbit, so I decided to write down some Fitbit basics from the tutorial. That way I wouldn't forget them. Another little doodle inspired by Cheyenne Barton. And you can see here, that was very off track, sorry. You can see here that I've started tracking my bedtime, awake time, REM, light, and deep sleep because I do have the Fitbit now, and I just think it's super cool. And something that I really do like to do is if I have a lot of blank space, I'll just put a little simple doodle that takes up a lot of space. That way I don't have to take a whole lot of time to fill it to where I'm not just thinking this is a waste. More journaling. I suppose I should probably talk about some things that are actually in my daily spreads. Of course, I write down the day, my sleep log. If I go to the gym, I write down what I want to do, like deadlift, circuits, anything like that. Of course, my daily tasks, and then journaling. But it definitely varies each day. I don't stick to any set thing that I need to do. It kind of just is what I need it to be that day, which is the beauty of a bullet journal. This page is mostly blocked out because it's a lot of personal information, but this is addresses for Happy Meal. That way I don't have to just keep a ton of envelopes and get addresses that way. So I write down people's names, then where to send their mail to. This is another example of a weekly spread. I was having a lot of classwork due this week, so I wanted to lay it out to see what was due in which class when, because sometimes I just need to dumb it down, make it completely redundant to where the same information is written down a billion places, or else I forget about it. So that's why this is here. Another weekly layout. I decided to do it this way because there wasn't that much that needed to get done during the week, and I figured I could kind of focus on what I do this week and then what's coming up, but it didn't turn out very successful. I probably won't do it again, but sure is pretty. As we're moving forward, I feel like there's progressively more sticky notes, and that's because I've gotten into journaling more. What can I say? I just don't want to share that with the world. And hello, October! I messed up this page. I tried to do the whole typical bullet journal calendar where it's like day 1, day 2, day 3. But I don't work that way. I don't like to work that way. I need more room than that. So I pasted some scrapbook paper, washied it down, and then hello October, washi tape again. Oh, mistakes. Aren't they wonderful? This month's trackers, and something that you'll notice whenever I do have my trackers and there's like little pink highlights on the numbers of the day, menstrual cycle, that's what that is. I try to do it to be a little bit more discreet because it makes me sad to have to write period for a few days in a row. And then October expenses again. I've decided to do something a little bit different where I just highlight the squares and color code it that way rather than doing the entire line, because I wanted to use my fountain pen. And the inks that I use, they smear with the highlighters that I use, so I didn't want to have to do that. Didn't want to have to use a felt tip pen to write it down. I wanted to stick with this whole blue theme. So, new system. And this little Winnie the Pooh paper here is just so I can know the color code and what everything is. And these little blue tabs here are for future planning. That way I can actually know what's going on, because we're planning some vacations and family trips, and I would like to know those dates and have them written down so that I don't forget by the time it's time to make a December spread. And I'm just going to skip those because you don't need to see all that. It's essentially just squares and then writing in it. Oh, golly. And I also do like to paste in pen pal things. Of course, I've blocked out her address and stuff, but I love to save the envelopes, especially whenever it's on beautiful cardstock. And I've pasted these together, but this pen pal likes to write on A5 paper, so it was perfect to just cut it down and paste in my journal to look back on. This is one of my favorite daily spreads so far. Oh, it's so beautiful. I wrote this in highlighter, outlined it with my fountain pen, did this little garland-esque star hanger. Didn't really have much to do that day. I didn't want to write down the food that I ate, didn't want to write down workouts, just my homework and then things to do. And some journaling. And this is a little poem from the game Doki Doki Literature Club. Spooky, very spooky. I'm not much for psychological horror things, and it shows. And this is my current page spread. I'm mixing it up and doing a vertical layout. In my past bullet journal, the one right before this one, I spent a few months doing vertical layouts so that I could focus on the tasks rather than like the diary portion of the journal. And this week I have a lot to do, so I figured that I would revisit this page. And again, reoccurring theme, washi tape. I tried to do a time layout so I could plan my day in time blocks. But I don't work that way. I never work that way. I want to work that way, but I don't. So I whited it out and washied over it, and now it's just a decoration. And this too, I wrote down something I didn't want to be there, so I washied over it. Yeah, that's how I work. And I want to thank you all for visiting me and my bullet journal, and I hope that you want to see more. Let me know in the comments below what kinds of videos that you would like to see from me. Thank you, and bye-bye.